Time for 7 First Alert weather.
At the end of last week, we were really tracking Hurricane Fiona that turned into a superstorm as it made its way into the Canadian Maritimes, and it did go down in the record books as the lowest pressure to enter into the Canadian Maritimes, so the strongest storm on record because of the lowest pressure. So that was a powerhouse storm for that part of the globe, but now all eyes are on this Tropical Storm Ian, which is still holding strong to its tropical storm status with max sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. So at this point, it doesn't look like too much, and it's far from home, but the forecast track is very concerning, and this looks like it could be a very impactful storm and damaging storm for the Gulf Coast of Florida. Where exactly it makes landfall and at what strength, that all remains to be seen, and within the next 24 hours, I think we'll know more about this forecast track. But what's interesting is that the National Weather Service offices all across the country and really around the globe, they launch weather balloons twice a day, but Boise and Spokane and points east of there are launching them more times during the day to get better data to go into the weather models specifically so we can get a better idea of what this storm system is going to do. So National Weather Service Boise participating in the forecasting of Ian, which again is expected to be a powerhouse storm, strengthening rather rapidly, major hurricane, Category 3, and eventually could become a Category 4 storm as it's moving into the Gulf of Mexico and then heads toward the Gulf Coast of Florida. So something that we'll be talking about and watching very closely over the coming days. I know it has nothing to do with our forecast here locally, other than the fact that the National Weather Service here in Boise is participating in that forecasting, but we also may have travel plans in that direction. We may know somebody that's impacted by that storm. So that's where our weather worries are. But back here, no worries at all, other than above average temperatures for us again today, to the tune of 10 degrees above seasonal averages and approaching record territory. Tomorrow, getting close to it. I don't think it'll be a tie. We won't break it. Tuesday, maybe a tie. It's possible as we get into the low 90s through the Treasure Valley, all because of this high pressure ridge building across the region. It's giving us bluebird skies, lots of sunshine, light wind for tomorrow, but it's also keeping that southwest flow aloft coming in our direction, which does boost our temperatures up above average, especially with this trough off the coastline sinking down. It sort of amplifies that southwest flow aloft. So I think our warmest days of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday, until it eventually tracks to our north and brings us some cooler temperatures closer to average for this time of year for a couple of days. We turn the page into October before another high pressure ridge builds across the region. So as we're taking a look toward October, favoring above average temperatures for the entire month of October. So a warm month ahead of us. It looks likely that that happens again, warmer than average. Here's a look at our weather timeline through the overnight hours. Clear skies and light wind means it will be a crisp and cool start to the morning tomorrow. Not looking for anything in the way of frost or freeze. But you know what? That timeline, that average timeline for seeing our first frost and freeze, I've seen a lot of questions on our Idaho Weather Watchers page. It is upon us. It is especially as we enter into October, because what is it, middle of October is when they typically shut the irrigation water off?
Actually, ours is being turned off, I think, on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, really soon. Yeah. So
it's the end of this month.
We're going to take a look at those dates when we can typically expect it. I don't have it in the forecast, but we'll talk about when we typically expect it.
All right, see you in a little bit. We'll be right back.